Man, I cannot wait for this new season of Power. Like literally, I'm looking forward to it. November 21st. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it a lot. So in this video, I'm just gonna be giving my general view on some of the big characters in Power. I'm not going to be talking about all the big characters in this video. I'm just going to be giving my general view on some of the big characters and just talking about the storylines that they're going to be involved in, the plots that they're going to be involved in, and how some of the characters are going to evolve and change. And I'm also going to be giving my predictions as well for some of the plots that I think for some of the storylines and how I think they'll play out. And I'll be giving a few death predictions and things like that. So yeah, let's get started with Tariq. With Tariq, he's gonna be having a lot of issues, situations, dilemmas throughout the whole entire season because he's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot on his plate. So, and he's gonna have to make a lot of tactical chess moves to find a way out of the problems that he's gonna be in. For example, the whole Jabari death, as I'm sure you guys know, at the end of season one, Jabari Kane shot Jabari, and then Tariq finished the job after that by shooting him again. So, and right now he's just trying to cover that whole thing up. He's trying to cover the whole thing up and trying to make sure that he doesn't take the fall for this Jabari death. But the question is, how is he going to avoid going down for it? How is he gonna avoid going down for this Jabari death? Because he's gonna have to make a lot of tactical chess moves to avoid going down for it, because the evidence that they have against him is going to be mounting up. They're going to be looking at Jabari's belongings to see if there's any evidence of who may have killed him. They're definitely going to be having a look at his laptop as well, and from that they're going to see that he was communicating with Tariq via emails in the lead up to his death. So Tariq is probably going to get interrogated at some point, and he's going to have to play this smart. He's going to have to play this very smart. And we know Tariq, he is a smart guy, so he's going to have to find a way and use his street smarts, use his experience to find a way out of this. But the question is, who's going to take the fall for it? Will someone take the fall for it? Because I don't think Tariq's going to throw Kane under the bus for this Jabari thing. I don't think he will. But he knows that Monet's probably not going to be happy about that. And so yeah, I don't think he's going to try and get Kane arrested for it. But if he doesn't get arrested for it, if he doesn't go down for it, and Kane doesn't go down for it, question is, who is? Or is no one going to go down for this Jabari thing? But nonetheless, Tariq trying to avoid going down for this Jabari thing is not going to be easy, because they're going to stack up more and more evidence about him. They're going to stack up more and more evidence, and the evidence that they have is, it may lead back to him. It may lead to him getting arrested for this thing if he doesn't play this smart. So Tariq is gonna have to make a lot of strategic plays and a lot of strategic moves, which he is definitely capable of doing. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me though if Tariq does go to prison for it for a short while, maybe for like an episode or two, and then he gets a lawyer and whatnot that can defend him, and he eventually gets out. But it wouldn't shock me if Tariq goes to prison for a short while, maybe an episode or two, because he's probably the only big character from a lot of these similar types of shows that hasn't been in prison, hasn't experienced it. We've seen Franklin from Snowfall. He was in prison for 3 episodes. We've seen Ghost, Tommy, even if you go to Top Boy, for example, we've seen Sully. So a lot of these big characters have experience being in there, but Tariq hasn't. So I'll be very, very interested to see how Tariq is able to deal with being in prison, how Tariq's be able to deal with that situation, because that's a situation that he definitely hasn't been in. But in order for him right now, Tariq at this current stage, I think he would struggle in that predicament. He would struggling in prison, because he can't throw hands right now. Yeah, Tariq can't throw hands right now, as we saw in episode 8 of season 1. Like when Bars came up to him Like, if it wasn't for 2-Bit, he would have got killed. Like, he couldn't even handle bars. And bars isn't a particularly big guy or anything like that. So Tariq needs to learn how to throw hands, 100%. Right now, if Tariq was in prison, he would get, he would get beaten up every day in there right now. So he needs to. That's something he needs to learn to make himself more complete as a hustler. That's something he needs to learn to make himself more complete, to make himself more versatile. Because he's got the intelligence. He can make smart chess moves. He can strategize. He can think 2-3 moves ahead. And he can come up with. He's got the ability to think outside the box, to come up with smart plans on how to deal with certain situations. For example, how we came up with the whole Course Correct app, where he's selling product under the guise of tutoring. Very, very smart approach. Very, very creative approach. So he's got that aspect of the game patterned. He's got that aspect of the game. He excels in that aspect of the game. But one area where he's very weak in is physical prowess. So he needs to learn how to throw hands. He needs to learn that. Professor Milgram, for example, I definitely suspect that she's gonna be investigating this Jabari death even more, because she used to be a prosecutor as well, so she's got that background. So yeah, she's definitely going to be trying to find out the truth about what happened on that night. She's definitely going to be trying to find out the truth as well. At the very least, she's going to suspect that Tariq had something to do with it, even if she doesn't know that Tariq did it, even if she doesn't have enough evidence to convict Tariq. I feel like she's going to definitely, at the very least, she's going to suspect that Tariq had something to do with this. So that's something that I reckon will go on as well. Tariq's he's going to be seeing Lauren, Effie, and Diana. So he's going to be having to manage all of that with those 3 girls on top of everything else that he's got going on. And Tariq is a Gyalis, man. Tariq is a Gyalis. Like Tariq's a stud. Like, man's got 3 girls onto him. Like, he's going to be clapping all their cheeks, blowing all their backs out. So yeah, he's going to be doing his thing. Like, Tariq's a stud. So yeah, like, big up to him. But yeah, he's going to have to manage all of that with the girls and whatnot, and balance all of that with trying to stay away from prison because of this whole Jabari thing, and on top of the schoolwork that he's going to have going on as well, because he's still a student as well. So he needs to pass. He needs to pass in order for him to get that inheritance as well from Ghost. So having to balance all of those things is very, very, very difficult. So we'll see how that plays out as well. From the trailer, we saw that Effie and Diana are going to be getting into it. They're going to be arguing, and it's going to lead to a near fight where Tariq breaks them up. That was shown in the trailer for season 2. So I wonder what that's about. I really do wonder what that's about. Tariq's going to be playing his cards close to his chest. As Monet said this many times as well, that's something that Tariq always does. He plays his cards close to his chest. Like, he's not going to tell them. He's not going to be telling Monet about the fact that he killed Jabari. As it was seen in the promo, Tariq's going to be lying to her about it. Monet's going to ask him, "Did you have anything to do with this whole teacher dying?" And Tariq's going to say, "No, I had nothing to do with it," which is obviously a lie, because he's the one that pulled the trigger. So it's obviously a lie. And on top of that, the way Diana looks at him as well. The way Diana looks at Drew as well is like, through her body language, is like she knows Tariq's lying. She knows Tariq's lying. So yeah, she definitely knows Tariq's lying, and it wouldn't surprise me if Monet knows it as well. But maybe she's just acting as though she doesn't know that Tariq's lying for a specific purpose. So that wouldn't surprise me if it's something like that going on. But yeah, Tariq's going to be lying to Monet about it, and I'm sure he's not going to. I don't think Tariq's going to be telling anyone about the fact that he killed the teacher. I don't think he's going to tell Diana, Drew, or Kane, or anyone about it. The only one he might tell is Brayden. And I'm going to talk about Brayden later on in this video as well. But that's the only one he might tell with that kind of information. I suspect that Diana's going to be going through Tariq's things again. That's a prediction I'm making. Diana will be going through Tariq's things. Throughout season 1, there were at least a couple times where Diana went through Tariq's bag. I remember one time she went through Tariq's bag, she found Tariq's gun. And then another time she found a card in Tariq's bag which said that a teacher is sleeping with a student. And she told Monet about that, and Monet put two and two together, realized that Zeke and Milgram were being a bit friendly, and Diana told her about the card, and she realized that them two were sleeping together. And the way she confronted Milgram about it, I actually liked that scene. That scene was quite funny. But yeah, I suspect that Diana's going to be doing more things like that again, going through Tariq's things and finding out information and reporting it back to Monet. So I think there's going to be more of that going on. But in an interview, the actress that plays Monet, Mary J. Blige, she said that Diana is going to be disappointing Monet throughout the season. She's going to do things that disappoint her. So I wonder what those things are going to be as well, the things that Diana does that disappoint Monet. But I guess we're going to see in the upcoming season. Something that Monet did throughout last season, was sending Diana to go to Stansfield to find information on Tariq. But that never really worked because Tariq always knew. Tariq always knew that Monet was sending Diana to do that. And so he never really revealed any kind of information to Diana about anything, which was a smart thing for Tariq to do, really. You can't really trust her. You can't really trust any of these girls, really. So that was a smart thing for him to do, to not tell her information about anything. But yeah, I don't think Monet will do that again this season because she knows that that's not going to work. Like, Tariq is way too smart for that. He's way too wise for that. Like, he sees that coming a mile away. So sending Diana to go to Stansfield to ask Tariq questions and things like that, it's just not going to work unless the approach is going to be more sophisticated and more subtle than that. Then it's not going to work. So if she does tell Diana to go to Stansfield to find information, the approach is going to be far more sophisticated, far more subtle than what she was doing in season 1. So yeah, that's something that I suspect as well. If she does tell Diana to go Stansfield, it's going to be a far more strategic and sophisticated approach than it was in season 1. Because in season 1, Diana kind of made it obvious, and then Tariq could smell a mile away that Monet sent her. I think Tariq may tell Diana more about his personal life, maybe, but I don't think he will tell Diana too much. Because like I said, he can't trust Diana. He can't trust any of these girls. So I suspect that he's going to tell Diana maybe a little bit more about his life, but I don't think he'll tell her that he killed his dad. But she might find that out because the only one, Monet, knows that. But I don't think he'll tell her that. And I don't think he'll tell her that he killed the teacher. But I do think he'll end up telling her more about his personal life and things like that. So yeah, I do think he'll tell Diana more things about himself. But he's not. But at the same time, he's still gonna hold his cards close to his chest at the same time. Like, he's not gonna tell her too much information about himself. But now we move on to Brayden. Cane respects Brayden. Like, Cane respects Brayden. You could tell in that episode where Cane kidnapped Brayden and Trace, and when he came back and he kidnapped them, took them to the hood, and he told each of them to sell product. Each of them had their own corner, and they were told to sell product. And Cane said he'd be back. So Cane came back later on, and he saw that Brayden has sold pretty much most of the product that Cane gave him. And you could tell that Cane was low-key impressed. Like, Cane was low-key impressed. Like he definitely had more respect for Brayden after that. And the way Brayden handled himself as well when Cane pulled the gun on him, like, you could tell Brayden wasn't like really scared, unlike his brother. So even from there, you could tell that Cane had a certain amount of respect for Brayden. And I reckon we're going to see that more in season 2. We're going to know that Cane and Brayden are going to be hitting licks together as well. Yeah, they're going to be hitting licks together in one of the episodes. And so, but also as well, Brayden's going to be getting beaten up. Brayden's going to be getting beaten up in one of the episodes. So it's probably by a character that we haven't met yet. I don't think Kane's going to be the one doing that. Sorry about a character we haven't met yet, but yeah, Brayden's going to be getting beaten up in one of those episodes. So he's going to get a full introduction to the game, and he's going to see the more. He's going to be seeing the more rough side of the game, because right now he hasn't really seen that side too much of the game. He's only seen the whole selling product side of it. He hasn't really seen the rough, violent aspect of the game. But he's going to be fully introduced to that in season 2. Well, I do think Brayden is built for that life, and I do think even after having a full introduction to the violent side of the game, he'll still want to remain in it. He'll still want to remain in it. I definitely do think that. Whereas his brother, I can't say the same for him. I do think Brayden will catch his first body this season as well. That's something that I think will happen. I think Brayden's going to end up catching his first body, but I don't think it'll be Trace. I know some people think that Brayden's going to take Trace out. I don't think it's going to play out like that. But I do think Brayden will catch his first body this season, and it will change him. He is going to evolve. Which is going to be very, very exciting to see. So, yeah. Brayden's theme for the season is loyalty. And throughout the original Power and season 1 of book 2, Brayden has shown that he's loyal. He's been very loyal to Tariq. So Tariq needs to trust Brayden more, I think. He needs to trust Brayden more. Because Brayden already trusts him. Brayden's already shown that he's a loyal friend. So Tariq needs to trust him more and needs to tell him more about the operation and things that are going on within the game. He needs to tell him more. Like, I'm not saying he needs to tell him everything, but he definitely needs to tell him a little bit more, because Brayden he's done enough to earn that kind of trust. So I do believe that Tariq needs to tell Brayden more, and by not telling him information, it's going to cause more and more arguments and more beef between him and Brayden if he doesn't tell him anything. So I do think Tariq needs to tell him more about what's going on, because Brayden is someone on his team that can assist him and help him a lot, and he is someone on his team that he can definitely trust. But now we get to Kane. So with Kane, he's going to be trying to get back in with his family, and Tariq's going to be helping him with that. Well, he said he would help him with that in the last episode of season 1, but I do believe he will try and help Kane get back in with his family. And in one of the descriptions for season 2, it was stated that Monet is going to start to trust Kane again. She's going to let Kane back in with the family, but Drew and Diana are going to be against that. So there's going to be a family split, really, where some of them side with Monet, some of them side with Lorenzo. But yeah, Kane's going to be getting back in with his family and helping them out in whatever way you can and whatever. Kane's going to be working with Mecha as well, who's a new character that we've only seen him in promos, and he was in the trailer, I believe, as well. He's a new character, and him and Kane and Mecha are going to be working together. They're going to be rolling together, probably hitting lits together, catching bodies, etc. And Kane will take a liking to Mecha, 100%. Kane's definitely going to take a liking to Mecha. And he may even look up to him. But I think Lorenzo is going to feel a type of way about that. And he's probably not going to be happy about that. But Mecha, he's a character. We know he can handle himself. He can definitely handle himself. In one of the teasers, he broke Lil Guap's finger. So he can definitely handle himself, and that's going to be real interesting and exciting to see. And Lorenzo, in terms of him, he's going to be getting out of prison. But I don't suspect that he's going to snitch to get out. He's going to find some way to get out without snitching or anything like that. But Lorenzo's going to be getting out of prison. And so he's going to be a season regular this season. So we'll see what plots and storylines that he gets himself. We'll see what kind of situation that he gets himself into. And now we move on to Zeke. He might continue some of his goofy statements, as we saw in the exchange that he had with Monet. Yeah, him and his goofy mannerisms and goofy statements. If you know, you know. I'm not even going to say what he said and did. If you know, you know. But yeah, he's going to continue those. He might continue those goofy statements and all that. I know that he was doing. But also, I think he might reveal some kind of clandestine information about his family to Milgram. He's gonna have a lot more trust in her and things like that. And that's definitely a bad idea. And my prediction I'm making is gonna be quite a bold prediction. I think Zeke's gonna die this season, I think. Because I think that he's gonna be too much of a liability, or he'll get caught in the crossfire, or he'll die some other way. But I think he's either gonna get caught in the crossfire or something like that, and someone's gonna take him out, or he'll end up being too much of a liability because he revealed certain things about his family which he shouldn't have revealed, and he ended up snitching, and then potentially, and this wouldn't even surprise me, Monet takes him out. Yeah, Monet, even though she said that many times that Zeke is valuable to the family because he's their way out, it wouldn't surprise me if she ends up sacrificing Zeke to protect the rest of her family. It wouldn't surprise me if she ends up doing that. So I'm not saying she will. All I'm saying is that somehow, some way, Zeke will end up dying this season. I think somehow, some way, Zeke will end up dying this season, I think. But that's it for this video. And leave your comments in the comment section below on any of your thoughts for this upcoming season of Book 2 and any predictions that you may have as well. And whether you agree with some of the things I've said, you disagree, leave your comments in the comment section below. But yeah, that's it. Speak to you guys next time.